All right, so we lost the shootout against the Chargers. We had a couple Chargers fans, all five of them, comment on our last video about their glorious win. But if there's a team that doesn't have any fans, I expect no comments this week in our thread here. The Arizona Cardinals going up against Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals. Browns get a chance to bounce back here. Cardinals have been playing well, undefeated this year. Drew, let's go to you first here. Mm-hmm. What are you looking forward to in this game? Does Baker, I don't know, everyone's been playing well. We just need to win.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see the defense stop somebody. That was fun a couple of weeks back when they looked like world beaters on defense for 2 weeks in a row. But I don't know what happened to them. They got some help by the other team got a lot of help by the officials there to keep them in it. But even then, to give up 47 points, I saw a stat that Baker Mayfield is the first quarterback to put up more than 40 points and lose multiple times. No other quarterback in NFL history has scored more than 40 points and lost more than one game. And Baker Mayfield has now accomplished that feat three times. That's pretty impressive. So I'm hopeful that the defense plays a little better. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. Now, this is a sort of a tall task. The Cardinals are number 6 in offense right now through 5 games. They average 413 yards per game. That's actually slightly behind the Browns at 415 per game. The Browns are 5th in that same metric. That's yards per game. The Cardinals are a little better in points per game. They average over 31 points per game. That is a lot. This offense can really score when they get close. They've got some really good receivers, Hopkins, Rondale Moore, the rookie that a lot of us liked coming into the draft, Christian Kirk, A.J. Green. They have some good weapons. Kyler's having a really good season, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the defense can do against that particular set of weapons. I think that's going to be an interesting matchup. They have traditionally struggled against quarterbacks who can scramble, who can move, who can beat them with their legs. So that is the matchup that I'm looking forward to most. On the offensive side of the ball, I hope they just pretend those last two sort of strange series in the Chargers game just didn't happen, because before that they were moving the ball just at will, whether it be run or pass. They were really moving the ball well. And I looked forward to hopefully continuing some of that momentum that they built through about whatever that was, 52 or so minutes of that game against Los Angeles.
Kyler took quite a few sacks in the last game, pressure from the outside. So there's certainly, he got caught up in his own spin moves on some of those sacks. So there's a way to stop him. Maybe not as dynamic as that running back out in Baltimore. But Eric, what do you think about stopping this Cardinals offense? Does the defense get back on track?
Yeah, I envision a similar game plan for the Cardinals of what the Chargers kind of did last week, and that is they flat out abandoned the run game. The Chargers did, and outside of one game by I can't remember the running back's name because he's not that good. I'm gonna call him out right now, but Rondale Moore was their leading rusher last week, and he's a wide receiver, so that's gotta tell you how good their running attack is. So that being said, they have won in multiple ways. They've won 17-10. They won 37-20 the prior week. Kyler's averaging just north of 300 yards passing per game, just over 22 yards rushing. Not much, but he gives you that threat that he can break one at any time. He's got 13 total touchdowns. So I think the defense obviously needs to treat him the way they've treated Lamar Jackson and do a good job in the past, as well as Justin Fields, as well as Patrick Mahomes, as well as Josh Allen. Some of these nimble quarterbacks who can run and take off at any moment. So, it's going to come down to what can JOK do for you today. Didn't mean to rhyme on that one, but we're going to go with it. And, it's really going to be critical to see what happens with the secondary. Greg Newsome didn't play the last 2 games. Denzel Ward left last week's game. Greedy was in and out. All of them practiced today. That would be great if they could all play. But that being said, they're going to have their hands full with the receivers you guys mentioned, Hopkins, Kirk, Moore, and Green. I would like to see an AJ Green matchup and our AJ Green
right?
win.
That has to happen. That has to happen.
And we have to be on the winning side, hopefully, on that one. But we'll see. Like I said, our defense is going to have our handful, whether it's Kyler scrambling or Kyler throwing. I mean, they could, throw in some Rondale Moore runs, or their running back actually run the ball. But I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury is going to come up with something. But honestly, it's probably going to have to be a similar blueprint offensively as last week, is we're going to have to outpace the Cardinals. We're going to have to keep the foot on the gas. One of my least favorite moments of last week's game, outside of the end of the game, was when they kind of sat on the ball after recovering that fumble and didn't really go for as our JV football coach would say, go for the jugular, and really, really put them in their place and get that 7 points that's really needed, or 8 points if you want to go for the 2-point conversion. We kind of sat on it, got the 3 points, and those extra 4 or 5 points would have really helped at the end of the game. So should that situation present itself this week, they got to take advantage of every opportunity going forward. And last I will say is hopefully Jadeveon Clowney can play, because I don't remember the actual statistics, but I know our defensive pressure was down significantly from the prior week. Jadeveon can help, obviously Miles and Malik McDowell, who played tremendously well last week. If we can pressure, cause sacks, and most importantly, turnovers against Kyler Murray, I like our chances this week.
They'll definitely try and put pressure on Kyler. And, I'll call out myself here. I didn't think Kyler was going to be this good of a quarterback in the NFL. And he's stepped up. He's been consistently good, but he is dealing with an injury. Drew, who are you looking for on the Browns sideline to actually pull out this win and really push the Browns to a victory?
Yeah, I'm going to say, this is somebody that I think you both have said early this year, but I have not yet. I'm going to say Nick Chubb. I think for the Browns to win, the Browns need to have a lead late. Like their sort of formula for success is, the same one that I think makes a lot of sense. It's to mix in a lot of pass early, and then you get more so into running later. I think that, analytics would say that is a winning formula. It's certainly the most efficient way to move the football, but the key to that is being able to run late, to being able to pick up first downs when you have a lead, being able to just sort of grind the clock and win the game on the ground in the fourth quarter. So if the Browns are going to beat what I think is a really talented team, he's going to need to have a really good day.
Eric, who are you looking at?
Well, I would have said Jedrick Wills or Blake Hance playing a left tackle against Chandler Cartilage Jones. Not as good as his brother John Bones Jones. But now I assume...
Let's just breathe
assuming
that
he's
one in
going to
for
be
a second. Wow.
But assuming that he's going to miss time due to the virus, I'm going to have to flash the stop sign or the octagon on that one. So we'll switch on. So... But yeah, I mean, the criticism is coming for number 6. He played well, and still people were criticizing him last week. There's people are mostly national media is giving this narrative that he can't beat the top tier quarterbacks and he can't close the deal at winning time. So I really could envision a game where this similar situation presents itself and he needs to make a big play late. I really hope Stefanski gives him that opportunity this week. Some would argue that he didn't last week, and I would not disagree. Having to draw on third down and these dink and dunk passes late in the game. I hope he gets the opportunity, and I hope he comes through this week. So I'm going to go with Baker Mayfield.
The Browns are 3-2. They've lost to the Chargers and the Chiefs, 2 of the better teams in the NFL. 4-2 will feel great. Let's see a Browns victory this weekend.